So, dear students, I'm here with you today to tell you how you should be preparing for your optional sociology for 2025. Before I get into that, let me tell you why you should be taking your optional paper very seriously for UPSC preparation. I'm not talking about sociology only. Any optional you are going to choose is going to determine your destiny. Over the years, you'll be finding out students, if you look into the toppers, their GS mark is more or less similar. 20 marks difference will be there. Real difference in rank come out of their performance in optional subject, essay, and interview. They constitute a triangle. So therefore, the day you decide to go for UPSC, you must have to make sure your optional is thoroughly chosen and neatly prepared. Two words I'm using here. Thoroughly, your optional is primarily chosen, and neatly, it is prepared. And optional is going to have a big impact on your essay. You have seen the essay paper this year. Most of the essays are nowadays coming. Essays are, बढ़ा देना. So most of the essay topics you are getting are imaginative, philosophical, than being primarily content oriented. Unless you understand the theme of the essay, it will be very difficult for you to give flesh and blood to your essay paper. And while choosing an optional paper, don't go by the hearsay. Hearsay in the sense, people say that this is a good optional, therefore you are going for it. Don't go for that. Many students, in the market, there is a big, primarily what? Information going on. Sociology is a very good subject. I lived my life with sociology, taught for around 38 years, and for so many years I studied sociology. And I'll not be advising it to jump into my subject without getting a feel for it. Feel for it in the sense, when you read the syllabus, that, God factor will tell you, this is a good syllabus. I love the content of it. I can be original in my thinking, write good answers. So that feeling should be coming from within. So mathematics may be a good optional for a topper. It cannot be equally good for everybody. So similarly, this subject is doing good, therefore I'll go for it. It doesn't make any sense. So first thing what you have to do is, when you are choosing an optional paper, scan the syllabus neatly. Don't go into the size of the syllabus. If you go by the size of syllabus, there may be one line. Suppose in GS, international relations. So it is not primarily, explicitly intending what the syllabus talks about. So size of the syllabus is not primarily reflected in the chapters of the syllabus or the sentences made in the syllabus. So therefore, when you are reading the syllabus, look at the themes. For example, when you are looking into sociology syllabus, you find out certain themes are there. Themes like caste, tribe, village, rural development. Then you look into social change, education, law, population. So there are different themes of syllabus. हाँ, syllabus देखो ये हुआ ये हाँ. If you look at the syllabus, sociology का, you know, look into first three lines. Modernity in Europe and emergence of sociology. Tell me, when you are looking into modernity in Europe, you are discussing about what? European society was largely feudal society. Industrial revolution came, enlightenment came, French revolution occurred. And all these factors, look at these three things. Enlightenment change your ideology, pattern of thinking, rationality, humanism, so secularism. So these ideas came out of enlightenment. And if you are not thinking in a rational way, you cannot have science. You cannot have technology. You cannot question to monarchy and go for feudalism. You go for democracy. Therefore, unless your thinking changes, your action will not change. Our thought need to be changed, then our action will change. Once our action is changing, our social structure will change. Monarchical structure will be replaced by democratic structure. Only when we think that king is not the child of God. So, like king, I am also a human being. I can become ruler. I can guarantee good governance. I can formulate public policy. So, the movement that thinking develops, you question to the authority of king. You tell that king is one person, he is ruling over us. We are a majority. Our representative will be ruling over us. Representative rule is known as what? Democracy. People's rule is known as what? Democracy. To develop that perception that we can rule, you must have to have primarily what? Self-confidence. You can have self-confidence if you believe in yourself. And belief in yourself comes out of what? Enlightenment. So had there been no enlightenment, there could not have been any French Revolution. Had there been no French Revolution, man could not have been ambitious to go for trade, commerce, mercantile operations, industrial revolution. Tell me, if these are the elements of European modernity, you are discussing history here or not? French Revolution is what? समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Enlightenment, history. Renaissance, history. Industrial revolution, history. Understanding or not? So therefore, history you are doing in your GS paper, and history is a foundation to emergence of sociology. Then you are doing relationship with other disciplines, relationship with political science, history, economics. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Then how is sociology different from common sense? What is common sense? Common sense is what? What is common sense? Common sense is based upon assumption, presumption. There is a ghost living in the top of the tree is what? Common sense. If there is a ghost, I want to see the ghost. Look into ghost, how ghost looks like. So therefore, sociology always goes for factual analysis. So we should be looking into poverty by collecting data. Caste-based discrimination, looking into lower caste access to education, lower caste access to employment, lower caste access to different kinds of how they're becoming victims of violence. On the basis of data, we speak. And our insight, our observation, we give it to policymakers. Understanding or not? So sociology is largely based upon what? Facts. Common sense is based upon assumption, presumption, supposition, here says. ठीक है? So this is one area of sociology. Then science and sociology. ये सर theories paper है. And the beauty of sociology is this part. Thinkers. And in this part, you'll be finding out a lot of interface is there with what ethics paper. You see here, Protestant ethics. So how rational ethics is foundation to capitalism. Durkheim talks about nationalistic ethics. Religion means society worship. Tell me, who gives you name? You are citizen of India. You are joining which service? सिविल का पहला और कुछ एक वर्ड है, इंडियन सिविल सर्विस. इंडिया गिव्स यू ए जॉब, इंडिया गिव्स यू आइडेंटिटी, understanding not. India gives you security, India guarantees your well-being. Therefore तुम्हारे लिए भगवान कौन है? India. And how to worship India? Ethics paper. How to worship India? As a bureaucrat following bureaucratic ethics, you worship India. A doctor through his profession treating the patient honestly, saving their life, is serving India. As a professor, through my academic ethics, I am reaching out to the students, giving them knowledge. That is how I am serving my country. Therefore, true religion binds people together, false religion divides them. And true religion is nationalism or worshipping to your nation. Yes or no? So what is ethical for you? Ethical is standing committed to your profession. Through your profession, you are reaching out to others, making meaningful contribution to the society. Understanding or not? So therefore, sociology opens up your mind. Sociology is not a subject that gives you stress. It's a stress buster. Understanding or not? So when you are doing sociology, any topic for that matter, you take into consideration. It will release your tension, give you new ideas, new way of looking into things. Have you ever thought about religion can be a form of society worship? If a essay topic comes on nationalism, you can use this idea or not? Can you see your nation? Can you touch your country? Your nation or your country, can you see it? Can you touch it? No. You can only feel it. And how do you feel it? Through a symbol. That symbol is what? National flag, national anthem, Martyrs' Day, Independence Day, Republic Day. So in these days, we all come together. Forget who is a student, who is a teacher, who is an officer, who is a non-officer. So entirety of population in one mood, with one purpose, one motivation, we start worshipping to our society by respecting to tricolor. Yes or no? In other days, you are a professor, you are primarily a bureaucrat, you are an entrepreneur, your identities are different. But on that particular day, forgetting these differences, we speak in one rhythm, one tone, with one devotion, and that is promoting Indian unity. So, what I'm telling you here is that whenever you decide to go for an optional, you just look into your connectivity with the subject, your interest for that subject, than going by what people say in the market. This is a scoring subject, you must have to go for it. So many toppers came from this subject. This year, sociology has 4 students in first 10. So that never qualifies to be called as a best subject. A best subject is best subject. You only get best marks in that. If somebody is getting best mark, how that subject will be best to you? So best subject should be best to you. Best subject is not best because it is getting good number of people selected in that optional. And to get good marks in the optional, first criteria is you must be connected yourself with the subject. You must feel for it. ठीक है? And feeling कैसे देखोगे? देखो, ये सारे टॉपिक यू गो थ्रू इट. Bureaucracy, pressure groups, political parties, nation, state, citizenship, civil society, democracy, ideology, protest, movement, all these themes you find out mention in one or the other part of your GS paper. Yes or no? Democracy के ऊपर you get questions in essay. A meaningful democracy is possible through effective citizenship and vibrant civil society. That can be coming as a essay topic. Democracy is what? What is democracy? Democracy is not an institutional phenomena. Institutional democracy means you will be having political parties contesting election. You must have an election commission to conduct the election. Majority party will be constituting the government. Bureaucracy will be there to primarily implement the law. Executive, legislature, judiciary will be experiencing separation of power. 5 years or 4 years, election will be conducted. People will be using their franchise right. This is what institutional democracy. Democracy is a form of life experience. Foundation to democracy is human freedom. Understanding or not? If in a society slavery is present, enslavement is present, tell me one thing. If in a society bonded laborers are struggling to exist, they are not getting square meals per day, will democracy be meaningful to them? If tribes are suffering from landlessness, dislocation from natural resources, are they equal primarily participant to democracy like you and me who are having secured life? So life experience of democracy for a woman is different from man. Higher caste different from lower caste. Tribe from that of non-tribe. Rich from that of poor. Therefore, to make democracy meaningful, social equity is most important to establish. Understanding or not? So this kind of thinking you get in sociology. And with this kind of thinking, you can make primarily what? Value additions in your essay paper and GS paper. The girl who got 13th rank, this time she's sociology topper. So we had an interaction and she told me, sir, there was a question on Prime Minister housing scheme in GS. And I've given an example in the class that tribes do have a culture that where they settle down, their house should be covered by tree. They believe trees give them protection because trees carry protective spirit. So without tree cover, they will not be primarily constructing a house. But when we formulated tribal rehabilitation scheme, we gave them concrete buildings where tree covers were missing out. And the tribes left that settlement and ran away to the forest. Therefore, when we are making public policy, we should be sensitive towards people's culture. In Uttarakhand, few primarily months back, there is a plan to construct a dam. But in the middle of that proposed dam, there was located a temple. And government decided to leave that temple to complete the project. People resisted to it. So before you primarily chalk out a strategy for development, we have to respect to people's culture. So therefore, development for whom? people. Therefore, participative development includes people's perception, their ideas, their aspirations. Only then development will be meaningful and sustainable. So therefore, if you are getting in economics chapter of your GS syllabus, development, ethical dimension to development, cultural dimension to development, social needs for development. If these dimensions you bring in, your answer in GS will be carrying value addition. Understanding or not? So therefore, what I'm telling you here is that sociology is not, I always keep telling it and repeating it once again. Sociology is not a subject. You see what all you are doing in sociology. Some of political system, some of religion. You see in religion what you are doing. Pluralism, sects, cults, secularization, religious revivalism, fundamentalism. That you do also in social issues. Yes or no? In political system also protest, agitation, movement, collective action, revolution, civil society, democracy, citizenship, you are doing in different parts of your GS. And this you see, patriarchy and sexual division of labor. In every sphere there is a question on gender. Contemporary trends, how marriage is changing, family is changing, relationship is developing, live-in relationship we can talk about. We can talk about, households are making appearance. People are changing their sexual identity using modern science and technology. Europe में common चल रहा है. So all these things you are discussing here. Development and dependency, technology and social change, education, social change. These are full-fledged essay topics in your UPSC preparation. And whole of Indian sociology paper is nothing but extension of your GS. See what you are doing here. Protest movement during colonial period history. Social reform is history. Modernization of Indian tradition, colonial rulers, how they introduced modernization. Post-independent India, how we went for modernization, what has been the consequence of it. Look at this thing. Agrarian social structure, land tenure system, land reform. Here you are looking into caste untouchability, forms and perspective. Here tribal community, colonial tribal policy, problem of integration and autonomy of the tribes. Different movements, Naga movement, Bodo movement, Santal movement. Here you are looking into middle class, industrial class, agrarian class. Here again the problem of religious minorities and religious communities in India. Look at this part. Idea of developmental planning and mixed economy. Niti Aayog will be discussing here. 5-year plans will be discussing here. Why from mixed economy we are going for globalization and subsequently capitalism. Neo-capitalism, how developing in India. Constitution, law and social change. All kinds of law will come. Environmental law, law related to gender, law related to primarily minorities, all kinds of law will be doing it. That also again you are getting as a question. Education and social change, new education policy. Take a national education policy 1990s, new education policy. What is the implication of new education policy? Education policy and nationalism, education policy and inclusion, education policy and most importantly vocational education. ठीक है? Education policy and ethics, that is more important. Rural agrarian transformation, what are you doing here? Rural development, community development, cooperatives. Cooperative minister, who is cooperative minister? Home minister is cooperative minister. And what is talking about? Sehekari se samriddhi. Development is possible through cooperation. In which domains of your economy cooperatives are at work? Milk cooperative Amul, Nandini. So they are bringing primarily white revolution in the country or not? Housing cooperatives, tea cooperatives, rubber cooperatives, textile cooperatives, hospitals are run by cooperatives. So cooperative sector is primarily expanding to every sector of economy. And cooperative means what? People are coming together, pooling their money, putting their effort, and dividend goes to their pocket. Self-help group is what? Cooperative coming from the grassroots. So therefore, cooperative is giving primarily economic choice to whom? Poorest of the poor women. They are becoming self-reliant. Therefore, to develop your country, not that big industries are required. Development can come from grassroots, possible through cooperative movement. Entire Maharashtra's economy is driven by what? Sugar cooperatives. Yes or no? So therefore, you will be studying in sociology, you use that in GS, economics chapter. Then you have green revolution and social change, mode of production changing mode of production, rural labor bondage and migration. Then again evolution of industries in India. Which industries are now getting more importance? Service sector. Which industry is primarily more important? कभी सोचे हो? Knowledge economy is getting a momentum. Knowledge is power. This Uber na Uber जो है. Do you think this company owns a car? Using technology, applying your knowledge, you are operating in global level and making huge wealth. What is Blinkit? New form of business. Because people of your generation, you don't have time to go for shopping to shopping malls and shopping complexes. Young boys and girls are working. They have little time left out to go to market to buy essential commodities. Therefore, market should be available to you on the click of a mouse or click of your finger. You should not be going to market because your time is productive, creative, innovative. That is not meant for what? Visiting market in this heavy traffic. So therefore, using this knowledge, which knowledge? Technological knowledge. So market is reaching out to the doorstep of the people. इसका implication क्या है? Since market is available anytime market. If you are feeling hungry at 3 o'clock in the night, market comes to deliver you good. Zomato. Therefore, they are selling more or not? They are not only selling more, you are consuming more. And that market reach, conquer over your mind through advertisement. Therefore, more you have, less you have. Less you have, you are striving for more. Apple 16 is the classic example of it. Before they launch a telephone, they make so much of advertisement. So you had a mobile iPhone 14, iPhone 15, but today you are thinking that you have become poor because you are not technologically updated. So therefore, you are becoming a consumerist and their business is flourishing. Therefore, more the money you make, more the money you spend. More the money you spend, more business is expanding. More trade is expanding. That is the other name of what? Globalization. So how globalization is promoting consumerism? How globalization is giving rise to a sense of being poor. Poverty is absolute today or relative today? आज का डेट में it's not one is rich, other is poor. One is feeling that he is poor, she is poor, therefore you are poor. You don't have branded clothes, you feel poor. You have one pair of branded clothes, other is having 10, you feel poor. Understanding or not? Poverty is a perception now. In past, poverty was absolute. So there is a shift from perception of poverty to the structure of poverty. Previously, we had a structure of poverty in the villages. Now, perception of poverty. We have this TV और दूसरा वाला latest model का नहीं है. Feeling poor. Understanding or not? So, with sociology, you get a kind of what? Perception, imagination, thinking, direction to be innovative, to be creative, to be reflexive, to be analytical, so that you can add values to any answer you write. Because answer you write not just by content, answer you write through primarily your cognitive power. And that cognitive power is injected into your mind through sociology. Understanding or not? Again, population, GS, you do it. Again, violence against women, एवरीडे लाइफ में देख रहे हो. वायलेंस क्या होता है? What is violence? Violence is what? बताओ, whatever you know, you tell me. I'll be adding on to it. Eh? Use of force to dominate over other person. See, violence is not only physical. Violence is what? Mental. And out of these two kinds of violence, which violence is having long-lasting impact? Mental violence. And mental violence is a product of your mental perception. The moment you think a woman is inferior to a man, that perception will be directing your words and action. Language will be abusive, hierarchical, authoritarian. And every word you primarily make towards a woman is primarily hitting her heart. She's bleeding, but that primarily bleeding is not seen. So she is dying many times a day, though she is physically alive. That is the impact of mental violence. Insult, injury, समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Give rise to suffocation of a woman. Questioning to her ability, questioning to her capacity. So everything is being questioned. Understanding or not? Similarly, caste-based violence. Understanding or not? So therefore, different dimension to violence we'll be talking about. Caste conflict, ethnic conflict, communalism, religious revivalism, illiteracy, all are social issues papers. So what I'm telling you here is that before you decide your optional, scan your syllabus. Any optional you go for, scan your syllabus. When I'm using the word scan, every word you must have to read carefully. Understanding or not? And see how many concepts used in that syllabus you are comfortable with. Okay. Then you look into the connectivity between different chapters of the syllabus. Okay. Here you are doing challenges of transformation, caste conflict, violence, poverty, this, that. This chapter is what? Politics and society. This industry and rural is what? Economy and society. This is what? Religion in society. This is what? Kinship in society. Okay? Kinship, religion, politics, change, economy, you are doing in paper 2. This is what? Social change. This is what? System of kinship. This is what? Religion and society. This is what? Politics and society. This is what? Work and economic life. 60% of the syllabus of paper 1 is connected to paper 2 in sociology syllabus. Read the syllabus carefully. Words will be similar. Here, patriarchy and sexual division of labor, contemporary trends. Patriarchy, entitlements, and sexual division of labor. There you find out marriage and family. There you will find out marriage and family. So means in Western society, what is the nature of marriage and family? Indian society, what is marriage and family? Indian patriarchy and patriarchy in case of West. If you combine them together, and if by chance a question comes on gender, Western examples you have, Indian examples you have, you don't require content to write answer for your essay. Essay you get on education, essay you get on economy, essay you get on law, essay you get on primarily movements. So all these essays, topic for that, content for that, you get from where? Sociology. Therefore, if you are attentive in the class, when I discuss a particular topic, I open up various dimensions to it. If you are sincere in the class, attentive in the class, taking down your notes well, then essay will never be difficult for you. Yesterday I was discussing with my students. All the essays came. The ongoing students had primarily loads of that information on that. And sociological theories are primarily opening up your perspectives. So one thing you remember, you first scan the syllabus, read every word of the syllabus, and interface of these words in different chapters of the syllabus. Then you have got control over the syllabus. And get a printout of the syllabus and put that in front of your study table. Where you are studying, your syllabus should be primarily pasted there. So whenever you are looking at a book, you are having a glimpse at your syllabus. So syllabus is there in your head. So looking at the syllabus multiple times, you know which area is connected to which other area. So therefore, any question that comes from your syllabus will be easier for you to understand and primarily write answer to. Okay? Second, your encounter with syllabus. Your encounter with syllabus will be similar to your encounter with unknown. Because most of the people who go for sociology, from my experience of so many decades, I have seen, have never done sociology in their lifetime. So sociology is primarily a new encounter for you. And every new discipline you go for will be having new concepts. Physics has its own concepts. Psychology has its own concept. Geography has its own concept. Sociology will be having its own concept. Okay? So whenever you are encountering with a particular optional, what you have to do is you have to pick up a book on dictionary of sociology. छोटा सा बुक है, 50-60 पेज का बुक है. And in that book you'll be finding out class conflict, positivism, one liners you'll be getting. Or if you don't buy a book, internet encyclopedia of social science is there, and that will be expanding your knowledge. I'm giving you one concept: governmentality. Okay? What is governmentality? लिख नहीं पाऊंगा. One concept is government. Second is government. How you are enriching your GS, देखो, through sociological concept. Government, and governmentality. Government is what? What is government? A government is a legitimate institution that is being empowered by the rules of law or the constitution to make law for you. Through legislation, government will be making law. Enforce that law. Maintain law and order. Collect tax. Yes or no? So government is having legitimate power to control and rule over the people. Government. Governmentality is what? So nowadays, Government is not primarily controlling you by giving threat of police, threat of army, threat of legal court. Government is promoting national literacy program. Government is giving you what? Education. Government is exposing you to what? Mass media, newspaper. So through that, you get to know. Since you are more knowledgeable now, you know what is legal, what is illegal. You know what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. Since you are educated, therefore you know if you participate in a protester movement, FIR is lodged against you. You cannot write UPSC. So therefore, what you do? You withdraw yourself from different kinds of movement. Government doesn't have to use police and army. So governmentality is a kind of attitude by which state enters into your thinking, into your head, telling you what is right and what is wrong, and you simply follow it. The job of the state is done. Yes or no? Look at modern hospital system. If you are sick, you are going to a doctor. So doctor tells you what not to eat, what not to do. And you are following it or not? You are coming here to primarily study with me. I tell you what to study, and more so, I tell you what not to study. You are following it or not? Therefore, you are disciplined in the class, disciplined in the hospital, disciplined in the public place. So, therefore, you are governed. So, why should I use police, army, legal court? No need. Therefore, modern societies are moving away from government to governmentality. Control the primarily behavior of the people through education, through mass media, giving them hospital, giving them primarily what? Other kind of facilities. And one beautiful example I'm giving you. If you are studying in this institute, they must have issued you an identity card. And being you are educated is there in your mind. Without carrying ID card, I cannot enter into the class. The day you are missing out this ID card, you become so apologetic to a person standing outside. Yes or no? The day you are getting your first passport, you dance in joy. As if you have innovated something new, received something great. Because that gives you what? Identity. But without that passport, can you visit any other country? So therefore, in your idea, this is there in the mind. Since I don't have a passport, I cannot travel abroad. Therefore, you are controlling your choices, applying for it. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Therefore, what state wants that you are doing or not. Therefore, that you do what state wants you to do. So therefore, state is not using naked violence to rule over you the way monarchical states used to do. Therefore, more of democracy, more of governmentality, more of monarchy, more of government. So shift from government to governmentality is the new grammar of politics. Yes or no? And shift from production to consumption is a shift from industrial revolution to globalization. A shift from family to partnership on the basis of choice is a shift from tradition to modernity. Therefore, world is changing or not? If world is changing, we are also changing. If we are changing, India is also changing. Therefore, what we were, that we are not. And that is not our destiny for future. This is the beauty of sociology. It ignites your mind, gives you bodies of new ideas to invent, innovate, reflect, analyze, and feel good about it. Therefore, sociology is not a subject. Sociology is imagination, reflection, critical understanding of things surrounding you. So, come back to the discussion. So, you buy either a copy of the dictionary of the optional you are choosing. If not dictionary, in internet, Encyclopedia of Social Science is available. Encyclopedia Britannica is available. So you just go through these websites. The concept you are not finding out easy to understand, click and get the information. Okay? So two things you have done. You have selected the optional, scanned the chapters, established interconnectivity, and learn what the concepts. Okay? Next thing, what you are going to do is very important thing. Like a child is studying alphabets before structuring the sentence, you must be having a basic understanding of the subject. And to develop that basic understanding of the subject, NCRT books are the treasure. IGNO materials are the treasure. EG Patsala materials are the treasure. Let me tell you, some of these volumes I have also written. We target our audience while writing the book. NCRT books are written for school children. Language will be simple, explanation will be clear, no jargons will be used. So you can develop a basic understanding of any subject by reading NCRT books. Okay. And IGNO materials are written for the people, those who cannot attend formal college. They have dropped out from the college since long. 10 years, 15 years gap is there. They want to do a degree. So therefore, subject is introduced to them through illustrations, simple language, everyday examples. So it will be easy for you to know the heart and soul of the subject in simple, understandable language. And that makes your foundation strong. Okay? So basic readings you are doing, and don't read them seriously, meticulously, don't learn line by line. To have some basic understanding, read these books like a novel, so that you get a feel how a sociologist look at family, how a sociologist is looking at caste, how different sociologists are studying tribes. So sociological view, sociological writing, sociological explanation, you get some basic ideas. Okay? Syllabus is done, concepts are learned, and background informations are made. Okay? You know how a person should be getting highest score in the subject. I'm repeating it once again. If you read some substandard materials, any notes available in the market, some key books available in the market, in any optional you can get 230, 240 marks. 220 marks to easily one can get, whatever if you complete the paper, 200 to 220 marks you get. If you read some few books here and there, you get 220, 230 marks. And most of the time students tell that my marks in the optional is not increasing, any optional. It is because of the lack of primarily what? Content. Tell me one thing. This is eye opener for you. If a student is getting 310 marks, 315 marks in optional paper, how one is getting that marks? People say, I have not read any book, I have just read this, Horolumbus I have read only 2 books. 2 books are not important. At least for 1 year, one is making preparation. Here comes the role of coaching centers. Here comes the role of good reading habit. Here comes the role of a good university that imparts knowledge in you. Here, what happens? When you are preparing for UPSC, always remember you are here not to primarily get a score, you are here to get a rank. And to get a rank, you have to single out others. So your strategy should be not just to primarily what? Get good score. To get best score that will keep you in best position. That should be the target. Be Arjun focused. So therefore, quality material should be available to you. And quality materials you will be getting. Remember one thing very carefully. The people who are preparing questions for you, there are a large number of professors. Each professor is asked to primarily make questions from one chapter. 30, 40 professors will be preparing questions. All these questions will be primarily shuffled together. For years, questions will be pulled up. And from out of that questions, few questions will be given to you in the exam. The best of the best minds of the world, best minds of the country are making the questions. You cannot befool them. Reading a substandard book, writing 10 points, you cannot befool an examiner. He has lived his life with that subject. Therefore, you should be writing in such a way it will reach his heart and will be showering marks on you. Trust me. Teacher loves to primarily give you good marks. When you get less mark, he also feels bad about it. Because he is primarily analyzing the answer and saying what nonsense he has written. She has written. Content is missing out. Understanding is missing out. Coherence is missing out. Comprehension is missing out. Are the students not studying? So teacher himself feels bad because he doesn't want to penalize a child. Every teacher is empathetic at heart because he has also his own children. He doesn't want to penalize you. And if you deserve to be penalized, nobody can help you out. That means what? When you are reading something, get into the roots of it. And in sociology, for any subject for that matter, for every chapter, there will be research articles, there will be quality books. It is practically impossible for you to cover all these materials in every possible detail. So that is where good coaching institutes come into prominence, good teaching becomes relevant, good study materials become relevant, good university becomes relevant. So coaching institutes should do what? What in the university we are teaching for in 2 years, that would be taught to you in 5 months' time, 4.5 months' time. Therefore, every class you attend in the coaching institute, that will be equivalent to a lecture taking class, a professor taking class in the university for 15 to 20 days. If you look into the syllabus, classical sociological theory is one paper in MA course of any best of the best university. And that is to be taught in a coaching institute in 15 days to 20 days time. So therefore, every class will be important for you. Every word teacher makes, that becomes important to you. So therefore, clarity of thought should be there on part of the teacher. Comprehension will be there in the lecture. And when you are joining a coaching, be careful. Your youth is involved. Your aspirations are involved. Your parents' money is involved. And many of you have sacrificed a job to get into civil service. Therefore, coaching institutes should be conscientious and teachers should be responsible that so many things are at stake. He should be doing justice to the student. Therefore, every topic coaching institute should be doing in a meticulous manner. So means whatever you should have studied from the quality materials, original text, that the teacher should be giving you in the classroom, so that your notes are comprehensive. And while discussing a topic, a teacher should open up the space of the discussion. this particular topic can be analyzed in this way. For example, while discussing globalization, I should be explaining to you how globalization has changed the lifestyle of the people living in Indian villages. Nobody would have imagined it. Globalization has changed the lifestyle of the people in Indian villages. You go to any village in the country, they will not be asking you to have green coconut. Even if you go to Kerala, nobody will be offering you a glass of lemon water. They'll be offering you what? Coke. Make that first sentence. The imprint of globalization is found out in the villages when a village woman is offering primarily a guest with a glass of Coke than the traditional drinks. Therefore, globalization has influenced to our food, thought, dress, behavior, institution. So, therefore, social change is visible not in cosmopolitan cities but also in remote villages of the country. Examiner will feel that the students it's so thought provoking, writing original answer. Another person will be writing. Globalization is talking about connecting economies of the world, as a result of which there will be free primary flow of what? Goods and commodities in the direction of different countries. That answer is mechanical, answer is bookish, qualitatively different from this answer. Understanding or not? So, therefore, if you are choosing a coaching institute, don't choose an institute for content. Choose an institute where you can obtain knowledge. Your mental horizon will be expanded, and that knowledge you can be using not only to write quality answer for a particular topic, but it will be changing your pattern of thinking. You can be using that knowledge in other domains as well. Okay? So, in 4.5 months' time or 5 months' time, most of the coaching institute finish their coaching. So, coaching means what? Coaching means what? Now you have raw materials. ठीक है? You have cement, you have brick, you have primarily other construction materials. Now you have to construct your house. ठीक है? House construction is an art. Most of the time you'll be finding out architect gives you a map to construct the house. Raw materials are purchased corresponding to that. But ultimately, when the house is constructed, you do not fall in love with it. You are thinking, something somewhere went wrong. So therefore, construction of house that is not giving you complete happiness, it's similar to the structuration of an answer. So when you are writing an answer, once you read, you are unhappy. You read it for the second time, still you are unhappy. Third, fourth time when you are read it, you feel absolutely dejected. I could have written better answer. And mind you are evaluated by the examiner, not how much of knowledge you carry. Rather, you are evaluated on the basis of what you write. And what you write for me is not important. How differently and distinctively you are writing from others. That makes 310, 320. If you write because others are writing, what they are writing, that you are writing, it is equivalent to 240. Nonsense. Understanding or not? So, how to write? I'm telling you what at Vajiram we do. At Vajiram, what I do, when I introduce a topic, you will not getting a feel that topic is being introduced. It will be started in the form of a story. The way I told you. What do you mean by modernity? Renaissance, this, that. So, you will not be making sense when I'm starting a topic. Before I start a lecture, I give you a brief outline about what this topic speaks about. Okay? And now you are having an understanding in simple language. The gist of the topic is introduced to you. Then the gist is elaborated. Slowly it is elaborated. And in between, narratives are given from everyday life. So that gist is fixed into your head. You will never forget it. You have to make an attempt to forget it. So once that is there in the head, content is there. Then study materials will be given to you. And study materials are updated on regular basis. So you get the content. Understanding is done, content is done, topic is complete. When the topic is complete, I'll be discussing with you about previous year question papers and ask you the question randomly. If this question I'm giving you today, how are you going to write the answer? You will be giving your answer, others will be giving their answer. What is lacunae in their answer, that will be discussed. Then I will be giving an answer to that question, telling you how in 20 different ways, 15 different ways, 10 different ways, you can answer to same question. So you will never be writing a stereotype answer in your exam. And mind you one thing, keep yourself in the position of an examiner. Forget about examiner. The food you eat in the breakfast, if mother repeats the food in lunch and dinner, will you be cherishing it or will throw it out? How intensively you may be having love with your mother. Because man by nature loves difference, varieties. So when an examiner is reading one answer, repeated by second script, third script repeated, he will be considering this is a tutored answer or answer copied down from a book. He will be penalizing everybody. And that brings everybody 190, 200, 205, 210, this kind of marks you get. Therefore, same question, you will be learning the art of writing different kind of answers. That will be done. Along with that, keeping contemporary things in mind, whatever happening around you, I'll be giving you 5 different questions. In coming years, which question from this topic may come? And how are you going to answer these questions? At the end of every month, test will be conducted. And the test will be evaluated by some professors of the university who has not taught you. I am the teacher. If I evaluate the script, objectivity may not be maintained. So other professors from best of the best universities, copies will be given to them. They will correct it. A time will be primarily demarcated when you can meet your examiners. They will be giving exhaustive comment on your answer. How much you write more than that, they will be writing in comment. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? And Medha was telling me, sir, in the first test I got 35 marks. And she got at the end of the day 310 marks in UPSC. ठीक है? So grooming will be so strong and so ruthlessly you will be groomed. Understand? Many times you'll be having tears in your eyes. So don't get worried about tears. So tears today will be converted into happy tears tomorrow. Understanding or not? So therefore, you should be feeling good that the purpose for which you are here, that purpose is primarily respected and proper guidance is given to you. Every month test will be conducted. And after you are meeting them, finding out limitations in your answer, then you come back to me. What more value addition can be done, that I'll be telling you. And some pointers will be given to you, core points for these questions. You can be using these pointers to reshuffle your answer, to bring originality in your answer. So for 4.5 months, 5 tests will be conducted. Thereafter, weekly tests will be conducted. One chapter, 1 week. By the end of it, you will be having 200 questions in hand. Syllabus is covered 2-3 times. And you cannot get questions beyond what is being asked, what you have practiced. Words will be different, but ideas will be there. By then, practice is being done, and you become बाहुबली. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? तो वही है the whole idea. ठीक है? So this is what we have been nurturing, we have been doing, we have been struggling. So it's obvious that when you clear the exam, not only you feel happy, we are also feeling happy. And that keeps me going at this age. ठीक है? बताओ कोई क्वेश्चन है तो तुम्हारा पूछो. Source Puja, how can we do value enrichment or basic concepts to right answer? As a teacher for 4 decades, I'll be telling value addition you can only make not by adding content. See, the basic problem with you now is the problem of plenty. Chat GPT. Pura entire ethics question came on artificial intelligence. Have you seen that? और इस बार का जो ethics question है, all questions on ethics related to artificial intelligence. You have now, artificial intelligence available, data source. You have so many coaching institute giving you primary loading information on I am the best capsule course, tablet course, then और क्या क्या course, ये सारे course चल रहा है. So you never know problem of plenty. So then there is a students वो चल रहा है आजकल, क्या नाम है इसका, 200-500 रुपये में महापत्र का वीडियो मिल रहा है, टेलीग्राम. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? तो ये भी एक चल रहा है. But always keep in mind, if you know more, you are not going to be a professor in Delhi University. You are not here to become a professor. You are here to write good answer and to primarily clear the exam. ठीक है? Value enrichment here means whether you are in a position to write an original answer or not. You can make value addition from any authentic source. Don't follow this practice of reading notes, topper's note, falana ka note, institute note. No. Go to the basic source. For example, internet is a very good source material for you. If you want to study Andre Bete on caste, class, and power, you'll be finding out what exactly he's talking about. And once you read his concept, what Bete tells, inequality exists in multiple forms. Wealth inequality is class. Status inequality is inequality on the basis of respect. Mother Teresa had which primarily what in society? Respect. People's president कौन थे? अरे पीपुल्स प्रेसिडेंट अब्दुल कलाम साहब. He commands respect. Gandhiji command respect. Therefore, some live in the world of status, others live in the world of wealth. No amount of wealth can make a person Gandhi, Abdul Kalam. No amount of power can make a person equivalent to Abdul Kalam, Mother Teresa. So therefore, Andre Bete tells inequality is multidimensional. बताओ मेरे को आज का डेट में, can you see inequality on the basis of health or not? Some people go for treatment to PHCs, others are going for treatment to primarily what? Gangaram Hospital. So if your paying capacity is different, healthcare services you also get differently. Yes or no? So inequality on the basis of health is present. Inequality on the basis of education is present. Inequality on the basis of this kind of, what? Internet. If you are having knowledge of internet, you can do a wonderful business than a conventional businessman who is doing business in a traditional way. So therefore, inequality is multidimensional, and out of that, these three inequalities are important. कोई सरपंच है, कोई पावरलेस है. समझ में आ रहा है? किसका हायर स्टेटस है, किसका लोअर स्टेटस है. And somebody is a man of money, other is primarily not having access to wealth. Understanding or not? So therefore, every society inequality is present, forms of inequality is different, and no society can completely be which society? Equalitarian society. Read from original source. Understanding or not? So very good source materials are there. If you want to go for self preparation, EPW is a very good source material. Encyclopedia is very good source material. And sociologists have written specific books relevant to specific chapter. So that is also primarily new, very new good books are written. Understand not? I have a book on society and culture in India. In that, many original articles of the best professors are there. You can refer to that book. Poverty is there in that book. Caste is there. Religion is there. Development is there. You can read these books. But these books will be taking a lot of time. If you find out the summary and review of these books, you can do that. I'm telling you another best way of reading these books. Any book you want to study, review of that book is done same year. Go to the page on Google book review. एक पैराग्राफ में और two paragraphs में the content of that book will be there. You can get some new ideas. Specifically for India paper, I'm telling you. For paper one, you have two standard books. Everybody reads, you can read it. But I'll be giving you alternate books for that. Otherwise, if everyone is reading and you are also reading, language is same, no value addition is done. One is Horolumbus and second is George Ridger. George Ridger for thinkers. Horolumbus, you are studying for institutions. Instead of Horolumbus, you can read Anthony Giddens, Sociology. Okay? And instead of George Ridger, you can read Ashley, Ashley, for thinkers. And both the books are good, equally good. So I'm referring to these two books because Horolumbus and primarily Ridger are overrated. Everybody reads them. And equal standard books are these two books, Anthony Giddens Sociology and Ashley Classical Sociological Theories. These two books you read. And if you are studying here at Vajiram, you don't have to read the books. Materials will be given to you. Content will be regularly supplied to you. And classroom materials will be more than sufficient to you. इंडियन थिंकर्स के लिए कोई बुक नहीं है. एक बिनोय श्रीवास्तव यू कैन रीड. बिनोय श्रीवास्तव, सेज पब्लिकेशंस, सोशियोलॉजिकल थिंकर्स इन इंडिया. Sociological thinkers in India. There is a series of publications by Sage Publications, and editor of that volume is Binoy Srivastav, Professor Binoy Srivastav. And वो सेज पब्लिकेशन में ट्राइब्स का भी ऊपर है. इफ यू वांट टू रीड मोर ऑन ट्राइब्स, सुकन चौधरी इज द एडिटर. इफ यू वांट टू रीड ऑन जेंडर, अंडरस्टैंडिंग नॉट, बुक्स आर देयर. बट रिसर्च थोड़ी ना करना है तुमको. Test papers online. Test paper is open to online students also. Class is also available online. Understand? No, test is also available online. So you can do both online and offline classes. Anything else you want to ask? Online? ठीक है. क्या ये है? मेरे थोड़ी ना दिख रहा है. तुम इधर कर लो. चश्मा नहीं लाया हूं. बूढ़ा आदमी हो भाई. इधर मत देखना. हो गया. क्वेश्चन कुछ पूछ रहे थे. मेरे को लगा इसमें। ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू, यू मेड माई डे। चलो, गॉड ब्लेस यू।